host, Mr. Unspeakable. Welcome. Thank you all. Please take care of each other, love each other, and let's move on with lots of news to cover tonight. Marjorie Taylor Green posts Epstein text messages to Trump that sent him over the edge. And also, Republican Marjorie Taylor Green says she's receiving threats. I'm a deepening feud with Trump. And also, a longtime vet who fought for the United States Army, who earned a Purple Heart, and took an IED blast, earned a Purple Heart, took IED blast to his body. Then ICE sent him to Mexico in the dead of night. Another breaking news: 11-year-old killed in road rage shooting on the way to school, police says. And in South Carolina, a triple murderer was executed by a firing squad. So we have a lot to cover. Now, let's go back to Marjorie Taylor Green. Marjorie Taylor Green posts Epstein text messages to Trump that sent him over the edge. Guys, this whole country is going crazy. There's so much hate, so much resentment. There's so much deepening hate and developing hate. I honestly think that all these murders that are going on in schools and just these random shootings in this country, I think they need to be fixed once and for all. I do believe that they do come from mental illness. A lot of these shootings come from mental illness. Now, when people are mentally ill and they don't get help, you have some people who are veterans, some people or kids who have abused when you were younger, whatever the case might be. If you have mental issues, there's all kinds of mental issues out there, and there's plenty in America, okay? And if they don't get addressed, and these people get care, if you have a mental, some kind of a mental illness, anxiety, panic attacks, or any kind of mental illness, it needs to be addressed. You need to have a proper coverage so you can go to a doctor, get proper medication. Otherwise, you never know. People they go crazy without medications. They turn into murderers and all kinds of crazy shit. So, the United States is going fucking crazy, and there's nothing nobody can do. Can this turn into a civil war? Can this turn ugly? What is going to happen in this country? We don't know. We just do know that as of today, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump hate each other's guts. And I mean, like, they're twisting and turning and throwing each other's guts all over the place, metaphorically, of course. And it seems to me like Trump is pretty freaking upset at Marjorie Taylor Greene, who helped him get elected. Folks, who was the one person that always was there for Trump? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was always freaking there, man. So guess what happened? She got thrown under the bus, just like the rest of the people, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a text message that had sent President Trump over the edge. She believes that the message that sent him over the edge had something to do with Epstein files. And what were those messages? I didn't see Trump get mentioned in these messages. I'm reading it right now. It says, this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene message says to Trump. He says, check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton's on there like 26 times. Hillary too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believe the Democrat bad guys like Clintons were entangled and involved with him. I totally believe that the Clintons were involved in this. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know about Hillary, but I do know about President Bill Clinton because I've seen photos way back in the 90s. And don't tell me they were fixed, because they weren't. We couldn't have messed with those pictures back in the 90s. There was no programs or Photoshop or anything like that. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. So I just don't understand what is so upsetting to Trump that he got upset at her over it. Maybe just because she's mentioned Epstein files, and he just didn't want to mention it at all. Period. You know what I mean? Like, cause he just kind of want to, hey, stop saying Epstein files. We need to keep this quiet, right? So I say thank you, folks, all for joining. Just another conversation with your host, uh, and that's me, Mr. Unspeakable. Thank you so much. Subscribe, help us grow, and smash that like button. Now, another thing they're saying about Republican Marjorie Taylor Green, she is receiving threats. Now, Marjorie is receiving threats amid deepening feud with Trump. She's saying right here, I'm now being contacted by private security firm, she says, with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and edged on by the most powerful men in the world. The man I supported and helped get elected, she said. Green wrote in a post X on Sunday, so she's deathly afraid. He's sending people after her. Guys, come on, don't tell me you wouldn't be scared if some deep state people are coming after you, knocking on your door, or texting you, or calling your phone late at night, or who knows what they're doing to torture this woman. She said next, as a Republican who overwhelmingly votes for President Trump's bills and agenda, his aggression against me, which also fuels the venomous nature of his radical internet trolls, many of whom are paid, this is completely shocking to everyone, the Congresswoman added in her post. Green's revelation comes after Trump attacked Green in posts on social media and rescinded his endorsement to her. So Trump is no longer endorsing Green in any sort of way. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with her. Okay? So I just don't believe it. I personally don't believe it, honestly. Like, is this some sort of game that they're playing? Is somebody, are we supposed to fall for this shit? There's something cooking up over here. There's some kind of a soup. Something's cooking up. But they're not telling exactly what. Trump on Saturday morning posted about Green, who has become increasingly critical of the president in recent weeks, on his Truth Social account multiple times. In one post, the president said Green betrayed her party with a criticism, and in another, Trump called Green a traitor and a disgrace to the Republican Party. During the federal government shutdown, which stretched from beginning of the October into the beginning of November, Green publicly broke with her party and Speaker Mike Johnson on healthcare, accusing GOP leaders of having no solution for Americans facing rising healthcare costs. In recent days, Green and 3 other Republican House lawmakers faced pressure from the White House to remove their names from a House petition that will force a floor vote on measure calling for the Justice Department to release files it has related to Jeffrey Epstein. Guys, this man has been dead since 2019, right? Something like that, 15.
Power off.
And the whole world is still talking about this freaking pedophile. And it's affecting so many people, so many victims. I mean, just look at that guy. If you guys seen the pictures of him or videos of him and Trump like standing next to each other at this party, it's a famous video. Everybody's seen it. And Trump still had that dance. You know, guys, that dance. And he was whispering something in his ear, something like along the lines like, "Look at her, she's so hot." Like, it's just disgusting. And now, there is to say it's not illegal to hang out with anybody, okay? Um, but the emails are proving otherwise. They're saying that Mr. President Trump had something to do, one way or another. He was either there or he had something to do with it in one way or another. It's not a good thing. And I do believe if he wasn't president, that right now he would have been locked up. In a separate post from a personal account, Green said her stance on the Epstein files is one of the reasons Trump's attacks. But she never even said anything about Trump. She added, "It really makes you wonder what is in those files and who and what country is putting so much pressure on him. I forgave him and I will pray for him to return to his original MAGA promises." Guys, this country is going right now through hell. There's so much going on. There's so many shootings. There's so many nasty politics. So many stories out there. Most of them are not important, not to me, but there's a lot of political drama, which that's what keeps the American politics interesting. Otherwise, American politics are really boring. You know, there has to be someone in American politics that can create drama so we can keep it interesting. And then this crap with ICE. Like, who are these people? These masked guys who are going out there and torturing the crap out of everybody? Like, is that really necessary? Can just police can take care of that. We don't need to send masked dudes who look like total freaking Nazis out there, hunting people down in the middle of the streets, running people over with their cars and their SUVs. I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on. And here's the story. A man who has earned a Purple Heart in the United States military, it says he fought for the U.S., took the IED blast, earned a Purple Heart, and ICE sent him to Mexico in the dead of night. This man fought for this country for many years, a couple of decades from what it seems like. He got blown out by IED blast, earned a Purple Heart. A Purple Heart. This man has a Purple Heart. And then the ICE assholes came and got him. And I'm sure there are a lot of these ICE guys out there who just have to do the job. There's a lot of them who are hurting just like you and me. There are a lot of those ICE agents who are, have 2 or 3 kids, a wife at home, who just simply don't have any savings and who are in a lot of debt. And what are we going to do? We're going to join ICE. Hey, for some of those guys, I'm saying, like, hey, if that's what you need to do for your family, if you're doing that for your family, then you got my vote. But don't go out there and torture people. It's not all right. So this poor man who served all this time in the military, young man, U.S. Army veteran who once served 2 tours in Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his injuries in combat, was suddenly deported early Friday. An immigration detention facility in Florence, Arizona. The removal took place around 4 a.m., leaving his family and supporters and legal team stunned. This man served all that time in the military, and he freaking got deported. And now we're going to watch a small video about it and see what exactly happened.
Story now. Purple Heart Iraq war vet Jose Barco is being deported by ICE, according to his family. Barco's wife said that she was notified this morning that Barco was deported after being detained at an ICE facility in Florence, Arizona. Adam Mincer is listening to Barco.
Bluetooth connected. Going from here at 7th Avenue in Polk in downtown Phoenix all the way to Florence to protest Barco's detention. But then his wife got a message around 4 a.m. today saying that he had already been deported. Barco is a Purple Heart recipient who served 2 combat tours in Iraq and suffered a traumatic brain injury. He came to the U.S. from Venezuela as a child, but never became a citizen after the government lost his paperwork. In 2009,
I hate commercials. I wish they would just remove these damn things. Fucking goddamn commercials. So fucking stupid. But who gives a shit about fucking toast?
Barco was convicted of attempted murder and spent 15 years in prison. According to court documents obtained by Scripps News in Denver, Barco shot a 19-year-old pregnant woman in the leg. Richard Reyes was planning that protest this morning when he got the news from Barco's wife.
He's still a man who signed the dotted line and was willing to give his life for this country. And all we're saying is, we're not saying that he didn't deserve to be punished for what he did, but once he served that time, we think that he should be allowed to then go back and try to rebuild his life.
Barco doesn't have any family or friends in Venezuela anymore. In fact, he has already been deported to Venezuela, but the government refused to take him in. Reporting in Phoenix, Adam Mintzer, ABC 15, Arizona.
Now, Adam did reach out to ICE for more details.
So guys, this man served military, has Purple Hearts. Yes, he did fuck up. I didn't know that he shot some lady in the leg or whatever. They're saying that he served. He was scheduled to serve or sentenced to serve 50 years. 50 years. Allegedly, they're saying he only fired one shot up in the air at the party, and then he got 50 years. And then he served only 15 out of 50. He served time, okay? And now I believe that he's got. Then he should be able to try to rebuild his life, just like everybody else. When you go to prison or jail and you get out, you're gonna try to rebuild your life. I think that everybody's got that right. You know what I mean? Now, what really hurts my heart is breaking news: an 11-year-old kid killed in a road rage shooting on the way to school. Police says 11-year-old boy, guys, was a victim on someone else's bullshit. An 11-year-old in Nevada was killed on the way to school when 2 drivers engaged in a road rage incident in which one fired into the other vehicle, according to the police. And that's probably what killed the boy. And we got a small little video on this incident. The police officers are going to give a small little speech, about 2 minutes long, and let's see what they have to say.
This morning on 215 westbound near Gibson, 2 vehicles became involved in a road rage incident when they began jockeying for positions, trying to pass each other on the congested freeway. One vehicle tried to pass the other vehicle on the shoulder, and at that time, both occupants of their vehicles rolled the window down and got into a verbal exchange. Our suspect then produced a handgun and fired 1 round at our victim vehicle, tragically striking an 11-year-old passenger who was sitting in the back seat of that vehicle. The stepfather driving the victim vehicle then rammed the suspect vehicle, causing them both to come to a stop in the middle of the freeway. Both drivers then got out of their vehicle and got in a heated exchange. At this time, a Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officer was driving by on the freeway, was held down, and was able to take the suspect into custody. Shortly after that, the Henderson Fire Department arrived on scene, and despite their best efforts and the efforts of the medical professionals at UMC, that 11-year-old succumbed to his injuries.
My God, that's so heartbreaking.
Henderson Police Homicide Section responded, and they have arrested the 22-year-old suspect for open murder and discharging a firearm at a vehicle. I just want to remind everybody that we lost a life today that we didn't have to lose. An 11-year-old was on his way to school and this senseless act took his life. I need everybody to be patient on our roadways. We have an obligation to look out for each other. The holidays are coming up, and we usually have congestion and tempers run high. It is not worth it to engage in this type of behavior on either party. I would rather you be stuck in traffic and late for your destination than have to go to a funeral for a loved one or potentially spend the rest of your life in prison.
So there you go, guys. 11-year-old boy lost his life because some douchebags decided to get into confrontation over some stupid fucking shit with their fucking cars. It was probably some two like younger dude. He said it. The guy was like 20-something years old. I'd say fuck that dude. He just caused a 11-year-old to die, a totally innocent kid whose parents right now are going through hell, and that douchebag should go to prison for the rest of his life. What in the fuck is he doing carrying a gun in the first place in the car and then shooting at someone? It's just dumb. Like I when I drive down the road, how many times I've been flipped off by people just driving? I used to be a truck driver. People would flip me off because I was going too slow. And the best strategy is not to react. Let him flip you off. Let him say whatever they want. Let him yell. Let him scream. You just go ahead. You do your thing. You do your business, and that's it. That's it. Instead of this shit happening, and then you ending up and you know somebody's gonna shoot at you. You're gonna shoot back at somebody. There's always bystanders. There's always other cars. There's always other people walking around. You can't just shoot a gun in public. Are you out of your freaking mind, man? It's freaking crazy. What is going on? And now, another thing, I'm going to add something really quick here, extra. South Carolina, triple murderer was executed today by firing squad. I had no idea that we still had a firing squad in this country, or even any sort of like death sentence, like electric chair or firing squad or hanging and stuff like that. I don't know if we had firing squad, but I think that's something that came back as a recent. But I guess this guy in South Carolina killed 3 people. Stephen Bryan, 44, was pronounced dead at 6:05 p.m. Friday at the Broad River Correctional Institute in Columbia. He admitted to killing Willard T.J. Tietjen in October 2004. Wow. So he's been sitting on a death row, this dude, for 21 years, going on 22, and they killed him. After stopping by his scheduled home in Sumter County and saying he had car trouble, Bryant also shot and killed 2 other men, one before and one after Tietjen in the same month, authorities say. So this freaking guy killed 3 people. Guys, look at this freaking dude. Look at him. This guy killed 3 people. This man got his ass handed to him by a firing squad. And I'll tell you what he had for breakfast. He had because I know they put down earlier, I was reading about what he had. They usually have like a last meal before they get executed. So this is what he had. He said, first, he chose to die by firing squad. It was 2 choices. He had either a lethal injection or firing squad. And so he chose firing squad. He had, they're saying that he made no final statements and briefly glanced at 10 witnesses. He gave them a glance before they shot him. And hood was placed on his head. And then he was shot. But for his final meal, this man who was executed, Bryant, he had spicy mixed seafood stir fry, fried fish over rice, egg rolls, stuffed shrimp, 2 candy bars and a German chocolate cake. I swear to freaking God. I think, and I watched some YouTube videos before about like the last meals before these people get executed, like these mass murderers, and there's always a German chocolate cake at the end. I'm not shitting you. For some reason, they all order a German chocolate cake. It's crazy. And Bryant made no noise as the shotguns rang out. The AP reported the red bullseye target that marked the location of his heart flew forward of his chest. He had a few shallow breaths and then a final spasm. A little over a minute later, a doctor checked him with a stethoscope for a minute before he was pronounced dead. 3 family members of victims who served as witnesses held hands during the execution. They're saying that this man that killed 3 people, he killed this man, Tetjan, burned his eyes with cigarettes, and wrote on a wall next to his body, like he would position his body by the wall, and then took his blood and dipped a freaking brush into the guy's blood and wrote, "Catch me if you can." Hello? I mean, this guy's obviously, it's mental illness. He was mentally ill. But just because you're mentally ill doesn't mean that gives you a right to kill people. All right? But I do think that in this country, mental illness plays a huge problem, huge issue. I know me. I have, well, if you would say that panic attacks and PTSD is mental illness, I believe it is. I have PTSD and I have severe panic attacks, and I get them just about anywhere. Like I could be driving down the road, just listening to the radio. I could be in the best mood of my life, and all of a sudden my hands start sweating, my heart starts pumping so hard and fast. Like the one time I was in the semi truck years ago when I was driving, and I was about to drop the truck off back to the company, and I was by myself. There was nobody with me in that truck except just me. I was about 20 minutes away. It was about 6:30 p.m. at night, and all of a sudden, I felt it coming like a freight train. Like you can feel a panic attack coming. I can't explain the feeling. Like to me, it starts in my guts, and it just rises and rises, and it hits your chest. That was the first time in my life that I've actually thought that was it. I actually had time to park the semi-truck on the side of the road. Literally, my arms gave out, my legs, my whole body. I was completely paralyzed. I couldn't move. I just couldn't feel anything. I couldn't grab the phone to call for help. I was taking like really, really deep breaths, and I didn't have any medication. It took about 45 minutes to an hour. And eventually I gained feeling in my arms and my legs, and I had a really severe pain. So like I'm saying, my point is the mental illness is nothing to play around. There's a lot of people that suffer from that. It's just the outcome of just bad life. Some people just have really bad life. They stress a lot. It usually happens to people that with low incomes. Rich people stress also, but they don't stress nearly as much as we do. And stress will get you. If you stress a lot, you'll get you're most likely to get a panic attack at some point. Me, I've gained my panic attacks probably from Chernobyl. I've been, well, during Chernobyl in 1986. I've been there, so I've seen that black, dark cloud about our city, our town, when I was a kid. I was in the 5th grade, maybe 4th, 5th grade, when Chernobyl exploded, and it was probably from that, mixed with everything else that I've been through, and you know, I can't get the medications. They won't give it to me. Nobody wants to give me medication for it. I just kind of, when it happens, I just brace for the impact, and I just wait for it to go away. And but for a lot of people, it's much harder. And the mental illness in the United States needs to be addressed. It's a very serious issue. I think that's why we have a lot of shootings. I think that's why we have a lot of robberies. I'm not saying it comes from panic attacks. I'm just saying it comes from other mental illnesses. And people need to be medicated. Some of the people that have real severe cases should be put in institutions. And until you get better, you don't get out. And that's just the way it is. It's better than them going out there and grabbing a gun and killing themselves or somebody else. That's why I feel like the government is not taking the mental illness very seriously. And a lot of people don't even understand what mental illness is. Like, when I try to explain to other people the PTSD, they're just like, yeah, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. No, you don't fucking know, dude. Because you don't know PTSD. It's not something you can understand. You have to have it to be able to say to me, yeah, I get it. You know? But the government just won't address it. I think that mental illness in this country can be fixed. Uh, it's not. It would be a hard thing to do. Just like homelessness can be fixed with just $20 billion, but politicians don't want to do it. So I guess we're in for a huge, hard, long battle. Folks, thank you so much for sticking around. Please subscribe, hit that like button. I really appreciate you. Thank you to all of you who have stuck around and have been here since the beginning. I appreciate you. We're still trying to figure out some things. We do apologize about some technical issues and difficulties. We're still pretty new here on this platform, so we're doing the best we can, and I know you are too. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Take care of each other. Hug each other. Give each other so much support to your loved ones, to your children, to your families. And we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.